Hey everyone, it's Chris from Smithy Finance. Good to see you. So it is March 7th, and it's another volatile day. It's about 2 p.m. right now, and I'm seeing that the markets have turned positive. They were decidedly negative a little while ago, and one headline on CNBC was that we were experiencing the worst week in about 2 years. And there has been some serious damage this week, but I'm still optimistic, and there's still good things happening out there. Let's talk. Well, let me give you a rundown first of all. So we've got at this moment the Dow up 150, Nasdaq's up 70, Toronto, which again had been down earlier. Let's see, Toronto is, sorry about that, up 170. So we've really turned around. We've got oil higher, and that's helping a little bit in our oil stocks, and just a little bit of a relief rally from the pain of this week. So let's talk about the Bitcoin reserve, the strategic Bitcoin reserve that was announced last night by Trump and his people. This is really good news. They've got about 200,000 Bitcoin now that has been seized over the years from criminal figures. And there was always a threat that they would sell that, especially under the previous administration. But now they're moving that 200,000 or whatever the number is, we don't know exactly, into this Bitcoin reserve. Now they say it's going to be revenue neutral, but what's included in the Bitcoin reserve right now is, or at least what is considered part of the overall reserve of the U.S. government, includes gold. It includes about $39 billion of cash, and it includes the other shit coins that they've also acquired through criminal elements in the past. So one fellow made a case that they have $1 trillion of potential buying of Bitcoin over the next years, with it still remaining revenue neutral. In other words, by selling the gold and by selling the shitcoins and using the 39 billion that they're currently sitting on. So this is really bullish. This is actually incredible. If you'd said a year ago that the United States would have a Bitcoin reserve, a strategic Bitcoin reserve, would be almost unfathomable. And Bitcoin has done a big yawn, and I think that's just because of all the weakness that we've seen out there this last little while. Nasdaq, down over 10%, so in official correction territory, or at least it was earlier today. And right now we've got Bitcoin at 88,500, so it's still almost 20,000 down from its high. But look, if you don't own any, you got to get off zero and get some, okay? And buy it through an ETF is very easy. Obviously, it's best to actually buy it and put it in a wallet somewhere, but I know that can be a little complicated. But there's a really good chance this thing goes 20x from here, and to have none is almost unforgivable. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. We've seen some real weakness in Reddit. So I've been talking about Reddit since the first days of my channel, and that's been a little more than a month. And Reddit had gone quite a bit higher, from 165 to 230 in that week, or whatever, that first week. And now this month has been brutal. We've gone from 230, and it's currently at about 135. So that's taken a real hit. So the question is, what do you do? Now, I've been buying it slowly, and I've talked about this before, that I've been sort of going into it with patience, because I realize that the stock, it's a high multiple stock, and it's had a massive move, right? We were at, this time last year, we were around 40. It hadn't quite gone public yet, but almost. So it was around 40, went to 230. Now we're back to 135. There is a clear breakdown at about 150 on the stock, like technically. So I've been adding. Now, look, I know that is that's kind of a scary thing to do when you've got a breakdown and it's like a falling knife. You're catching this falling knife. Who knows how low this thing goes? But there's nothing out of the ordinary that I can tell. All of the high flyers are down. Tesla's down 45% or something. NVIDIA down 25-30% in there. Super microcomputer is down, I don't know, 70% from its high. So all of them are leaking, and leaking quite badly. My bet is that there's nothing specifically wrong with Reddit. We're just having this rotation out of the high flyers and into either cash, or there's money flowing into the European stock market, believe it or not. So there might just be a rotation going on, and I expect that it will come back in. The Trump policies are going to be positive for business, but we're going through some growing pains right now with the tariffs, with the Doge laying off probably tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands by the time it's over. So the unemployment ranks swell, and there'd be pressure on the government there as well because they got to pay unemployment insurance, etc. But this is all short term. It's going to right the ship, get us to the right size, and then I think we're going to do really well. But yeah, this the tariff up and down is it's been a tough call. But anyway, back to Reddit. So I have bought some. I bought some at 142. I bought some at 136. I've got a bid in at 130. I have about a half, maybe 55% of a full position right now. So I've been very patient with it. Who knows? I mean, it could go another 20, 30, $40 lower. But I think this thing is for real. I think they're on a major growth path. Do your own work on it. I'm not telling you to buy it, but it is scary to buy it here. It is a clear breakdown on the technical side. But I know the technical traders. I know the pro traders. They can see the breakdown as well. They push it through the breakdown, trigger the stop losses, hammer it, make it really weak, especially on a weekday and a week couple of months in the market. It's the stock is vulnerable, so the pros jump all over it. Looks ugly, ugly, ugly. But you'll see, just like MicroStrategy had a 25% rally, a 35% rally in a couple of days this week. I think Reddit has that potential. So what else did I want to say to you? You can say, why not go short? The market looks weak. Chris, you should short it. All I'm going to say, and I'll do a full video on this at some point, but shorting does not match my personality. Your stock trading has to match the way you are in the world, okay? I'm basically optimistic. I've watched the market for 40 plus years. It goes up, okay? 20% of the time it goes down, 80% of the time it goes up. And these retracements, retractions, these pullbacks, these corrections, they tend to be short-lived, and then we get going again. That's what I think is going to happen this time. So shorting just doesn't make sense for me. For some, there's some bears that are always bearish, and you can see them, David Rosenberg and others. You can see, they're all over, and they're quite happy when things go down, and they're warning you things go down, but all the time. And again, things only go down 20% of the time. But that can be brutal, and sometimes these guys are right on the mark. But that's not my game. I'm an optimist. I like to live as an optimist. I like to be positive. I like to see the best in things. And I do believe that the best is still to come. So I'm staying the course. Anyway, that's it for a kind of a rocky week. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, especially if you're still here after all that. And I'll see you in the next one.